Did Minecraft Dungeons flop? So, when Minecraft Dungeons first came out in the spring of last year, that's 2020 for those of you who also experienced a year lasting 84 years, I, like many others, got my hands on the game and played it to death. Dungeons was being hyped as an action RPG, similarly styled like games such as Path of Exile and Diablo, except it would have a Minecraft skin with Minecraft-themed dungeons and enemies to fight through. This all seemed like an absolute slam dunk of a game, and many fans of Minecraft were excited to see what the Mojang team could throw at us. So, what went wrong? How did this game flop so badly? Now, don't get me wrong, the reviews of this game, pre-Howling Peaks DLC, are mixed at best. We can see clear spikes in people who hate the game as we see people who love the game, and at the end of the day, I can really only speak of my own personal experience. Growing up, my parents decided to get our first computer, a desktop to be shared in the dining room. The first, and if I remember correctly, the only game we got for that computer was Diablo 2. I don't know exactly what attracted me to the game as a kid, but I was hooked. I wasn't very good, but I was hooked. Reflecting on it as an adult, I can safely say it was the game's core mechanics that kept me coming back each and every day. You would spend hours running through the beautifully curated landscapes of Sanctuary, fighting your way through hordes of monsters, completing quests, and gaining levels. As you gain levels, you get attribute and skill points, and then you can spend those points as you wish to forge the hero you wanted to play. So for me, I was really interested in the whirlwind skill for the barbarian, and so to play that kind of hero, I had to carefully plan out where I would spend my points as I gained levels, taking care to meet gear requirements without compromising my end game goal. To add another layer of intrigue, the barbarian was not the only class you could start as. There are 7 total classes, and each class has a different skill tree to explore. Now, what about Minecraft? I've been playing Minecraft for 10 years now, and the game has been evolving all this time. The level system admittedly confused me to no end. They didn't represent anything about your character. Rather, they are more of a currency that you use to buy enchantments from the enchanting table. So right away, I knew this was a very different game to Diablo. Here, we wouldn't be exploring character growth, and the world around you is just a randomly generated landscape. There are no quests, no missions, and for a long time, no bosses. Instead, you are playing a survival game, one where you collect resources from the land around you and try not to die. I could seriously talk to you all day about the wonderful things you can do in Minecraft, but you likely already know most of what I would say. Building is fantastic. Creating genius redstone farms is challenging and rewarding. Creating art with maps, playing with friends in a casual setting, and making your own stories. Yeah, this is a sandbox game where the only limit is your imagination. So let's talk about Minecraft Dungeons again. This is a Diablo-style game with the skin of Minecraft. How would you make this game? On one hand, you want to create something that is recognizably Minecraft and is more than skin deep. You want to feel like you're playing in one of those randomly generated worlds. You may even want to use the land around you to collect resources. Perhaps you even want to build. Now, on the other hand, you need challenging quests, epic loot drops, character development, and player-made goals that the game can support you through. And then we have to find a balance between these two games. This brings me to what turned me away from Minecraft Dungeons in the first place, and I can't overstate this enough. There is no character growth. The leveling system retains a pure Minecraft feel, and that those levels are spent to improve your gear with new abilities. This makes the entire game very stale. Once you beat the game, and you will beat it in a couple of days, I can assure you, there is nothing to do. Game over, goodbye, thanks for playing. Each new character you create is identical to the last. There are no classes. There's simply no reason to make a new character. When you gain levels and spend those points into your gear, there is no consequence for making those decisions. If you don't like how that item is working out, you can salvage it and get all of your points back to immediately put elsewhere. In this game, gear is king. You could die and the next person could simply pick up your stuff and be just as good as you, which means that you, your character, have no impact on the story. It is only the loot you're finding along the way that is playing any part in this. And I'll only mention briefly that in this style of game, it is really important how players acquire gear. You don't want to give them the best stuff too quickly for fear of getting bored with how easy it is, but you also don't want to make it a slogfest where players, they just get bored replaying the same level over and over again, trying to get that one item. There's simply no winning. Minecraft works with this kind of system because the game itself doesn't revolve around using that gear to battle through missions over and over. Heck, there's even a game mode called Peaceful, and you'll never see a monster the entire time. You can just relax and do what makes you happy. I believe that the gear shouldn't make the player. I think that if I were to take all of my gear off, I should still be a reflection of what I am with all the gear. The barbarian learns a skill called Whirlwind. It's not given to him through one specific item. So if he loses the item, he can still Whirlwind. He can still fight. Minecraft Dungeons doesn't give you, the player, any choice with the kind of character you are. Sure, you can mix up which items are in each of the 6 slots, and you'll get that illusion of classes in the game. However, you don't have to earn any of it. If one player is playing as their stealthy ninja, and I happen to have those same items saved in my inventory, well, guess what? Now there's 2 stealthy ninjas. There's nothing special about your character. And if you're like me and save all of the unique items, then you can probably relate to this. You can be anything at any time. Minecraft is a game about exploring the world around you, and Dungeons is a game that tells you where and what you can explore with. And I think Dungeons should have been a game to explore the character. Dungeons went in the direction of Diablo 3, a game that is dying each and every day. It too puts all its power in the gear and nothing into the character. In that game, you can also remove all of your gear and be a nobody again, have no power, and make no impact on the story. In a game like this, character should be king, not your gear. You should be forged by the choices you make in your character growth, empowered for seeing it through to the highest skills of your class. And when you do come across other players, you can take pride in your build, knowing that it is yours, and they can't simply replicate it with a few clicks of the mouse. This would not only create goals for you to see through, but it will also beg the question of what if? What if I had chosen to put my skill points elsewhere? What if I divided my stats up differently? Could I be stronger one way or faster another? And what happens when I've been building towards one goal, when I suddenly come across a powerful new weapon, but it has high demands of my stats that I wasn't building towards? Do I change things up to use this new weapon, or do I let it go? What if next time I plan to find that item again, and I'll be ready for it? What skills would make that item better? What about my next character? When? How? Why? These are the things that make for dedicated long-term players, and it's simply something they opted to skip out on completely. Now, before you get after me in the comments telling me how great this game is or how much you agree with me, it's important for all of you to know that I have not yet played the new Howling Peaks DLC. I did end up getting the deluxe edition of the game last year, so the DLC has just been sitting, waiting for me. No spoilers, please. I will be doing a deep dive of the DLC and coming to a decision if I think it would be worth it to purchase it or not. But more importantly, I will be looking to see if it changes anything about how I feel about the game. I'm crossing my fingers that they've done some kind of overhaul, but let's be real. Mojang was never that kind of gaming company, And as far as Microsoft goes, this game just kind of feels like a cash grab. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I'm testing the waters here to see how well Dungeons is performing on YouTube, so if you did make it here, let me know in the comments what is the name of your favorite pet. Or even better, join the list of patrons here and in my Minecraft worlds by clicking the link in the description down below right after you've obviously clicked subscribe. Because we both know you did. Right? Right?